All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the meeting of the Ware Board of Selectmen, March 11th, 2024. We started at 6:30 with an non-public with the DPW director, then we went to an interview with a new truck driver. Brings us to call of order and a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That's now.
Wait for you to call the next thing. You're
Public.
still in charge.
Public comment.
What's public comment?
I don't know what side the table's proper for this. As some of you in this room probably know, two members of this board their terms are up after tomorrow, and they will no longer be running. And that would be Ricky Hickler and Sherry Burdick. So I'd like to present on behalf of the Board of Selectmen and Naomi and everybody else.
Come around the table.
Ricky first, I guess. He served 9 years as a board member. Excuse me, I don't know how many years chair, but a lot of them, 5 of them. I've been on this side a lot, and I don't know as I've seen anybody run a meeting as fluently as yourself, so that'll be missed. So anyway, I'd like to present this to you, Ricky.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. I'm sure we'll see you on that side of it.
Oh, yeah, I'll be on the other side.
The other ones I mentioned, Sherry. Sherry served for 6 years. She's been part of the community her whole life. And I think she has served with non-biased opinions on all issues. And we really appreciate the service to the town. Thank you, Sherry. You guys want your boxes for them?
Oh.
I got mine back. Thank you, Ben. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you, everyone. All right. Public comment. Okay. Oh, Eileen.
Eileen Meany, Quaker Street. I just want to say I want to thank both Ricky and Sherry for your service. I know on the other side of this, as a spouse of somebody who was on the board, it's a tremendous commitment. It's not just Monday nights, it's nights, weekends, and the level of dedication that you've both demonstrated and the commitment to our community, I truly appreciate. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. I came in tonight, I always watch the meetings, so I'm one of the people that you see like online when you're streaming. I always watch it. If I don't get to watch it when I'm home, I go back and listen. And I had a few questions about the March 5th meeting that I wasn't clear, and I was trying to find the minutes. I know that you had done some work previous to that about unsealing and resealing minutes from 2023. And I wasn't sure if those minutes have been posted yet from the unsealing. Okay. And so I couldn't find it, and I had a question about whether or not later in that meeting, towards the end of the meeting, right before you went into non-public, Sherry came forward and read a letter into the record that was of concern to me related to a meeting that occurred in 2023 that was a non-public meeting where a elected official was discussed. And I think we all understand that you can't go into non-public meetings to discuss an elected official. And so Sherry had identified that. And I wanted to understand, because I couldn't find it, if those minutes had been unsealed when you went in and did the work to seal and unseal. So those minutes have been unsealed. Okay. And so that was what I was coming to find out tonight, if you had remedied that.
Yes.
Because I was concerned about the violation of 91A. and the use of it to discuss an elected
There was
official.
2 sets actually, and they were both released.
Okay, all right, well, that was why I came tonight, I just wanted to make sure that you made remedy on that, and, 91A is pretty specific about, discussions of elected officials, and so I think it's important for all of us that, if they happen, that they happen in the full transparency, and that the things that you do go into non-public for are the ones that are protected by that statute, so, thank you.
Thank you.
And all those should be scanned and uploaded and physical copies available, just like,
Yeah, Maureen's got the physical.
just like public minutes
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah. Dick?
Good evening, Richard Butt. At the last meeting, there was a brief discussion about the job description for the Park and Rec Director. And I just want to put my 2 cents in. The last time the job description was done was in 2013, when I was a selectman. And we do have a relationship for employees reporting to employees. I think every employee in this town, whether part-time or full-time, reports to the department head or reports to the town administrator. I don't know if you have any direct reports. And it seemed, though, to infer that person shouldn't report to Naomi. That's the impression I had. I think it should be, and in industry, many years ago, they had an organizational structure called a matrix organization. And you had a functional manager and you had a project manager. In this particular case, Naomi would be the functional manager, take care of training, personnel issues, et cetera. It's difficult for one person employee to report to 5 or 6 different people on the committee, especially when they're volunteers and they could change fairly frequently. So I'd urge to keep that structure in place, and then that person then gets assigned to the project, which would be Park and Rec, and work under their direction. But the personnel issues and those nitty-gritty things should, I think, be tied directly to town administrator. The other thing I just wanted to touch base on was Article 26. It bothers me that it's on the warrant. It bothers me that this hadn't been corrected last year. Even the statement from the lawyer indicated it would be better if we didn't have competing articles on the warrant. And she even offered her services to get the groups together and get some resolution. I guess that never happened. I believe you got the letter somewhere around the beginning of January. And there seems to be some confusion, at least in my mind, on Article 26. There was some literature that was mailed out to, I'm assuming, everybody in town. And I'm going to ask a question. There's a statement on one of them, which is to vote yes on 26. It says, this article, put forth by taxpayers, would allow most usable part of the East Road property to be made available for community use. Is that correct?
It's not our statement.
I know, but you're responsible for the warrant to some extent, to a great extent, even if it's a petition article. I mean, where do we go to get information? How do we get information as to whether or not that is a correct statement?
How I felt it was portrayed to us is they wanted to get permission and then do a survey of what the most usable piece would be, which
Well, I think to them, the
talk
most
is a
usable
field,
piece.
obviously, but I think to,
I know, it seems an action statement, that if you approve this article, this will happen. And I had asked a couple weeks ago if Article 24 was approved or not approved, 26, same thing, what would happen? And you indicated nothing would happen.
As far as I know. As far as I know.
Well-
If they both pass, it was,
They
we
defeat.
were told that we had to have a judge decide
Yeah,
the answer.
they defeat each other. And when the judge has to, if they both pass, judge has to decide.
Oh, a judge would have to decide, let's go to,
If they both pass.
and if, okay,
Court
but I mean, there's so many, if
Right. I doubt both of them will pass.
If 26 is a petition article, typically petition articles have always been considered to be,
Advisory.
advisory. So, it's just that the statements that are coming out seem contrary to that if you vote yes,
Yeah.
that will happen. And I don't I don't know if that will happen or not. I hate to see the statements go, we're voting tomorrow.
No, I agree.
Right,
And it's kind of late in the,
Late in the
bottom
game.
of the night.
11th hour.
So, you have no direction on that? Is that would that actually happen?
I mean, do you wanna say anything, or be in the park ex officio, or?
I don't want to put you on the spot. If
No,
you
I
don't-
just-
If you don't
yeah.
know, you don't know.
I don't know.
You should know. It should have been resolved, late last year, so.
Appreciate that.
So there's no opinion by the board on that?
I don't have one.
Yeah, thanks.
Anybody else? Okay, move on. Department head committee items. Appointment to Parks and Rec. Matt? Come on up. Introduce yourself and why you wanted to get on park.
Sure.
Yeah, park.
Yeah, Pack and Rec. Matthew Beeler, on Meadow Drive. I am the current Cub Master with Pack 24 here in town. I have 2 young daughters. We've enjoyed the playground at Bolton, the field at Gazebo. With Scouts, we've worked the Patriotic Day Parade and made use of that field. And then this past fall, we did a large project with cleaning up the playground at Bolton and some of the surrounding area. We've also used Chase Park a few times for our family camp out, family overnight camp out. Seeing Bolton in the shape that it was in last fall and having Scouts come out and clean it up just brought up the concern that something's not happening, whether it be budgeting or whatever, but something wasn't happening for the playground to be in that kind of condition. And so I just felt that with a history of business management and a history of service to the country and others, and with my interaction with Scouts, which I plan on doing for a long time, I would be a benefit to the town, and that's really all I want, is to be a benefit to the town and help get things straightened up and cleaned up as best as we can with the resources we have.
Okay. Any other questions for Matt?
That was a pretty good answer.
Yeah, I know Matt through Scouts.
Okay.
Did Pinewood Derby this weekend.
Yeah.
Showed me how the software works and see how it goes in a couple years.
You were on it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Okay. I'll entertain a motion. Yeah, term expires through 25.
Yep. Oh, yeah. So just to talk about that briefly, we talked with Denise representing Park
Yep.
last week,
About the stagger.
and then we had a park meeting Friday,
Yeah,
Yes.
Friday.
where we talked about it again. So it was kind of, we spoke with Denise as a representative of Park, and then we were able to speak
With the
to
park.
all of Park. Everybody's on board with doing 1-year terms.
To get the stagger going.
Yep, and there may even be, because there are 2 people, or 3 people, at least 2
Two
people
plus
up this year. And so
2
there may be
year.
a question of, okay, if we do them for 1 year, but then the people who are current are like, I really don't want to do 3 years, maybe we change it around over the next few weeks, and then we could take these 1 years we're doing now and actually extend them.
To 3s
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
All right.
everybody, my point is, everybody's very flexible. Everybody knows we're going in the same direction.
Try and get to the same goal.
Yeah, just clean it up,
Okay.
make sure it's all written down.
Okay. Very good.
So I'll move that we appoint Matt Beeler to Parks and Rec with the term expiring in March 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Move second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Don't run away yet.
Do you want to swear Matt in while he's here?
Yep, I'm filling out some documentation right now, and we'll do it. All right. There's one more before I screw this up or I say again. All right. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Matthew Stewart Beeler,
Do solemnly and sincerely swear
do solemnly and sincerely swear
and affirm that I will faithfully and impartially
and affirm that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as Parks and Recreation Commissioner
as Park and Recreational Commissioner
for the term of 1 year,
for the term of 1 year,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of this Constitution,
of this Constitution,
the laws of the state of New Hampshire,
the laws of the state of New Hampshire,
so state it, help me God.
so help me God.
Welcome aboard, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I need a signature and some other stuff too here.
Sure.
So that's your signature there,
Okay,
and then if you could just provide a phone number and put your address there.
sure.
I read it.
Did a nice job.
It's all that 9 years of training.
I worked hard for this.
You did great.
And the other one is not here.
I saw that.
Can we still appoint her, or is it not
So-
something we want to do without her being here?
Okay,
You did email her though?
Thanks, I
thanks
appreciate it.
again.
I emailed both.
Thank you.
I emailed them both.
Um,
Thank you, Matt.
So, because we talked about it, and maybe if you could, so Matt was at the park meeting, correct me if you remember this differently. Yeah, Shelby was not at the park meeting, so we talked about, could we still, does park still want to move forward at this meeting if she comes here? Yes,
Okay,
sorry, I'm trying to,
paraphrasing, yeah.
yeah,
So they did want to move forward.
yes. And so where I'm going with this, did she respond?
Want me to text her?
So given that Parks meeting is the 20th, there's still an opportunity to do that next week?
Next
Just
week.
make sure,
Yeah,
do the interview, all that?
yeah, I didn't do it next week, I think.
If she had been at the park meeting and said, yep, go for it, do it for
You
me.
feel a lot better
Yeah.
about it, yeah.
Okay.
I get you, okay.
And I'm like 95% sure.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I understand.
So I can have her for 3:18.
Yeah, I don't think there is any disruption of us waiting a week,
I don't think there would be. When's next park
The
meeting?
Shelby
the
one.
20th.
Yeah, she should be fine. If she gets point on the 18th, so.
Just be one member shorter, but we can still elect her.
Yeah, on the 18th, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna table that one. Recognize Jason.
Okay,
What's that?
Sign that down. Ah, look at this.
so, Conservation, the Town Forester, and White's Logging have reached out to the Public Works Department, concerns to the, timber harvest on Merrill Road,
Okay.
Felch Farm. They have asked to use the pit road,
Okay.
out back. This would take away the $5,000 cost to the taxpayer as far as building a landing, right at the top of the hill on Merrill Road, on the paved portion.
They can get looped around, can they?
They would just be, coming in and out of the pit road. I don't personally see a problem with it as far as, traffic in and out of there. Page 3 in that packet there is kind of an agreement that White's Logging has come up with. And the town forester wanted you guys to check it out and sign off on it. So that's why I brought it here to you guys.
About the days or hours you're not there, Jay?
So there's an agreement for a gate key there.
2 days.
Okay.
There is, White's Logging has, agreed to, lock the gate no more than an hour later than normal transfer station hours, on the days that they're open. And on the days that they're closed, if trucks do go in and out of there, the gate will be locked behind everybody. One person, the job foreman, will have a copy of the key, and that'll be it. I believe it says they'll return it, no less than 2 days, or no more than 2 days, sorry, after the last piece of equipment is out of there.
So you said it's $5,000 less for what?
As far, I think, part of the bid was $5,000,
For the road landing.
Landing.
to put the landing in. Nate from White's Logging is here.
Yeah.
He can speak to it as well.
Just ask you to go up to the mic.
sure.
That came off the stumpage price, so now they'll be paying for,
Well, I just, all right, I'll let him talk.
So, the original agreement was that the Conservation Commission would, pay us $5,000 to create the access road and a landing at the top of the hill on Merrill Road. And, you know, obviously, that's a pretty big cost to do that, but, in us using the pit, there's really no costs. So we would just completely get rid of that $5,000 fee to the town. So there would be no costs associated with the harvest. You know, it'd be strictly revenue from the stumpage.
Can you state your name and who you're with?
Yeah, sorry, I'm Nate Corbrand. I'm a timber buyer for White's Logging.
Just for the record, thank you.
Absolutely.
Any questions for Nate?
I'm struggling here, I don't understand logging. So we put it out to bid and everybody had to put a price down for the logging, the landing.
Yes, so each,
Now what, I'm just trying to, if there was a deviation from the original plan, does that change, would that have changed other numbers?
so they bid the most for the stumpage.
Okay.
Total number was the most.
Yeah, I know you were the most,
And
but they had to
then they're
break down.
gonna pay him
the logging.
5,000 back, but I believe you were the most, even with us paying you the 5,000.
Oh,
right?
it was the biggest, yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
It was
I
like- It was
think so.
97 to 80 something to 2 in 60s.
yeah, we were 94, the next was 84, 82, and then 74, I believe, were the
Was
points.
the total number after
They built
the
their
town
landing.
paying you for the land and everything, those were the total numbers, right?
Those were the points
Yeah,
awarded per,
right,
per
yeah,
bid,
yeah.
yeah. So, I guess the person that asked the lowest amount for the access was $4,500. So we were about $500 apart, which if you look at the bids that you know, that still would have had us take the bid.
No, there's still a bond. That's why I'm trying to, the bond was about $5,000.
Yes,
wasn't it?
I've submitted the
Okay,
bond.
that's
Yep.
maybe what I'm crossing over.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
Same number, but.
It's the same number, I just wasn't.
I think personally, you know, you're gonna have less exposure, public exposure to the harvest down there.
Right.
And then, that is a terrible spot to mount log trucks last time
Well,
they
that's what
did
I
it.
was
'cause
It's
of
an
the
awful
traffic.
spot, yeah. Well, I mean,
So at least you guys-
obviously we'd have signs and everything out there, but.
Yeah, but even then, just try and turn at
Yeah.
110,000, try and turn
Well,
right.
and
I'd
from
ra-
what
I'd
I've
rather you
heard-
go straight up the hill than try and make that right and tear the pavement up.
From what I've heard is people do fly up and down that road too,
Oh,
Yeah.
stop.
so.
Yeah.
Ben, you were at the, like the original walk, right?
Yeah.
And this, like, nothing like this came up where, you know,
Not out loud, because it was already,
Part of it.
some people thought of it, and,
yeah.
you know, it crossed my mind, but I certainly didn't mention it, I was just there to listen.
Yeah.
I personally think that's the way to go, and my first thought was, well, you know, it's gonna screw the numbers up, but you guys were even getting paid $5,000, you were still the highest
Oh, yeah,
bidder by a lot, so.
by a lot.
All this is doing is giving the town an additional, or saving the town, however you wanna look at it, another $5,000 on top of it. If it was a difference between, it was dead even with the person that might have bid
Right,
1,000 or 0, then that's a whole different ballgame.
Right.
To me personally, but, I don't have a problem with it because it's not like another company is would have been losing a chance of being high bidder this way.
right. I feel pretty confident even if we said we weren't gonna charge anything for access, we still probably would've won. the bid.
Basically, that is what you're doing.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. But if, you know, for example, if Sharp or Hardwick or Hopkinton had got it, I'm assuming they would try to change the access
same.
just as I did. It makes total sense. Everything's getting pulled downhill instead of uphill. You know, it's all good material down there in the back of the back of the transfer
Any
station.
cutoffs or anything will either be chipped or lugged back in the woods, not left out in the gravel pit, right?
Correct, yeah.
There'll be no chunks or nothing left out in the
Nope,
pit.
no, the gravel pit will be in better or original condition when we're
Okay.
done.
Okay.
Yeah, that's in this contract as
Okay.
well.
Is there anything we need to worry about, since now you'd be crossing through, especially an area trafficked by the public, and you'd be on, because that property is now designated, it wouldn't be like on the conservation land, it'd be on the, like, DPW land.
It's all the same.
I know it's like an inset of the conservation. What I'm worried about is, do we need to do anything else differently about liability or any of that junk?
Are they coming out where the sand pile is in the wintertime? Is that where he's coming out?
Yeah, from way down back there, yeah.
Yeah.
No, way down back through the
Oh,
gate
way
area.
down.
Yeah, not where the public sand pile is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, if she gets a chance to look at it, there's a map showing exactly the truck route.
It's all right.
It's already went
I
down.
I know where it is.
But I would definitely feel a lot more comfortable if we did have signs along that trucking route.
Oh, yeah.
Just, and make sure the trucks are staying at under 5 miles an hour through there. And you had said you might be able to throw one of those big light up signs out there too.
it could be possible for us to throw
Yeah.
just an electric sign up there, just to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you expect the timber harvest to take?
4 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, about 3 to 4 weeks, I would think. And, as I said to Jason, I'm gonna have an excavator and a bulldozer there for, if not the whole time, 90% of the time we're there. Just in case, as I said to Jason, there's a couple of things with the water back there that I'd like to take control of a little better. But, yep.
Did that change your wetlands permit that was signed by the conservation that went to the state? Did that make any deviations? I know you just
no.
said water.
No.
Okay, because you
No.
just said you wanted to change, so. just
So
with water.
there's some drainage that goes into the pit through a culvert that we'll be crossing over.
Okay.
And then it kind of goes into a flat area. I know it's hard for you to picture it because you're not looking at it, but it goes into kind of a flat area where it just seeps kind of all over and makes its way down to a drainage pond, I guess you could say, man-made. So I would just want to make sure that where that water comes out of the culvert, it can go to that drainage pond without going other places.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's town property and whatever the wetlands permit's going to be issued to the town piece of property and that we're not doing something we're not supposed to be if they issue a permit as far as wetlands, that's all. Because
Yeah.
we're the landowner, not you.
Correct, yeah.
So
No,
wetlands-
those would not be, recognized as actual wetlands.
Yep, I felt we need to just
Absolutely,
state that
absolutely.
and understand that.
Yeah.
Got one more, and I like the idea, I ask all this out of ignorance, but with the demo trucks coming out of there, is there anything, because now you're gonna have trucks coming, from a new
No.
direction, anything to worry
it's not
about?
a problem.
Okay.
No.
Or,
There's
and,
plenty of
I'm talking like
visibility
signage, not, don't do it.
I think there's plenty of visibility there too, where they're gonna be coming from.
Yeah. Their trucks coming up the hill should be able to see cars coming down. Cars coming down shouldn't be able to see.
As long as they acknowledge the stop
Well, if they
sign,
put a sign up
Yeah.
on top of the hill.
just
that
saying.
Yeah.
truck-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because,
A lot better visibility this way than the original.
As I said, I can
Yes,
stuff
I
that
agree.
whole entrance, that truck route, the hill, I can stuff it full of signs. I mean, so that nobody has any excuse to,
Litter.
yeah.
Nate, is there any impact on the trail improvements that you were originally contracted for?
No, all would be the same. We, improve the trails, do the closeout on the rec trail, do our, new rec trail creation. Everything in the woods would remain the same for the most part. Me and Jeremy went out, last Thursday and spent the morning out there just kind of brainstorming, some of the trails, the wood's gonna have to go the opposite way that it was originally going. So, just, logistics in the trail system, but, as for the recreation and everything like that, it would be essentially the same.
Thank you.
Anything else for Nate? guess I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we allow White's Logging to use, the gravel pit area at the highway garage on Merrill Road, for logging operation of Felch Forest. And I don't know how much of this we need.
I would say just the dates.
Yeah, what was the dates again?
What's the projected dates?
Well, I dated the agreement for tonight,
Okay,
assuming we would all come to an agreement.
yeah.
The start date of the harvest, couple weeks probably.
Okay.
I mean, it's not gonna be next week,
Alright.
it's not gonna be right away.
I'm just thinking if we give you a little leeway on either side, say if we said April 1st to like June 31st type thing.
Yep, so I referred back to the original contract, which I believe the contract dates were,
End of 2024, by the looks of it.
was exact, yeah, so that was
Instead of putting
the,
a date, I guess I just would rather, you know,
Say the end
make
of
the motion and that we allow White's Logging to use the gravel pit area at the end of Merrill Road, for their landing access for the timber harvest of Felch Forest. And,
Per the
they
agreement to
re-
expire on.
yep, through the year 2024. And that the one key that is given will be returned back within 2 days after the
Yep.
operation is done.
yep,
Okay, is there a second?
Second,
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Yes.
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 Okay, I'm gonna vote no. And it's nothing to do with your operation.
Oh.
It's this is backstory, so,
okay,
it's about the farm, Felch Farm, so.
okay,
Nope, nothing to do with White's Logging or yourself.
okay, I was like,
So, but, okay.
okay,
Appreciate it.
thank
Thanks for
you,
coming in.
all set?
Yep,
Thank you.
You're all set,
Do
thank
you
you.
want to sign these then?
Alright. No, you guys go ahead and sign, it's fine, I'm not signing it,
Were you an abstain or no?
I'm a no.
You're a no.
Bring us to the River Road Bridge. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to.
He needs to
It's,
get this.
it's captivating, but you don't have to stick around if you don't want to.
appreciate you guys.
Do you want
Thank
to
you.
stay to sign this, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Did I not already sign it?
No.
You did not?
Okay. Should I just step up and?
Yeah, come on up. I'll span to him so we can get out of here. There we go.
Thank you, Benji.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Thank you guys.
Yep,
Have a great night.
have a good night, thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
River Road Bridge update.
Yes, so, we had a meeting, as far as the subcommittee, between myself, Selectman Knapp, a couple residents. We pretty much all came to the table with the three, same companies, as far as engineering firms. So I know a couple of you guys are not gonna be involved in it going forward, but, I think Naomi was gonna get, the new board members copies of the engineering firms, then we're gonna go ahead and schedule the interviews for those three companies coming up at the end of the month.
Yeah, so we talked about when we met last about, having it in a short period of time, but realistically, one of our members has been through the RFQ process before, and it really wasn't fair to 2 days later ask them to come for an interview. So I think we talked about it, the three of us talked about it afterwards, about maybe giving a week for you. I'll make copies for everybody. I have Benji's, so I'll make colored copies, give them to everybody on Monday. The plan would be to then do it after that, but give you a week to catch up with what you're looking at so we can ask questions. So, we had originally talked about the 21st, but the 21st, this room is being used. So I'm just gonna think about the 27th. Room is free. That gives everybody the time. I can give you the questions that the state prefers for questions to be asked. The idea is to allow everybody, basically, I'd schedule an hour apart. It's 20 minutes. They pitch themselves, 25 minutes Q&A, And then we, as the door shuts, we can have a conversation of things together. Then we'll wanna do the next one, we'll do that for 3 hours, and then we have to select somebody at this level. And then we turn that into the state, and we go to the next step, which I haven't looked at the next step yet. We gotta get over this hurdle first.
Very good.
So that would be the plan, is the 27th, which I guess I'll wait and ask.
What day of the week is that? Sorry.
Wednesday?
Okay.
27th is a Wednesday, the room's available Wednesday.
Okay.
So the thought was, and I would ask that of next week, we talked about trying to meet maybe a little earlier. I know Janice Salem, Benji, we talked about earlier, meaning maybe start the first one at 5, because these guys would have to go and come back. So we were thinking of 5, 6, 7, and then the 3 additional folks that sat through in the subcommittee, I did invite them to sit in the back of the room to listen to the presentations as well. So if 5 o'clock would be a good start time, I would have to ask the 2 new members that are coming in to make sure, I don't know
They
what
can
their
make-
work schedules are, but I can ask that next Monday, but that's what our plan kind of would be. Instead of waiting till 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night to start the first one when you have 3 of them that you have to interview.
And that's the only thing on the agenda
That would
night.
be the only thing and give us
Really
the
the only
time.
thing.
Yeah. No, 'cause I-
Oh,
yeah.
no, you gotta do some minutes too.
No, we have to move along, and we
Yeah,
have
no,
a
there's a
monthly meeting
timeline.
with the state as far as, process and how we're moving along. So that's kind of why we're stuck to a time frame.
Yeah, we check in with her at the beginning of the month.
Yeah,
We
first
checked with,
Wednesday.
yeah, we checked in with her on Friday, so if we can get the meeting scheduled for the end of the month, we can she can keep tabs on where we are, and we can keep moving forward in the process.
And we'll look ahead too after the 27th as, when we meet, the new board and meet, and then we'll know what our next step is,
There you go.
so we can keep moving.
Sounds good to me.
So tentatively, if you guys can kind of look at, you talked about 5 being easier, I'd have to work, so.
Makes sense?
Yeah, because it's an important, process, and I think I've said just about every single meeting that, your mind can absorb what you're asked and tolerate, so I don't think it's fair to, to the town or any contractor to drag a meeting on like that till midnight, because you just are over it. So I want to be somewhat on the crisper side.
Yeah.
And contractor probably don't want to be in here at 11 o'clock at night.
Right. Right, so that's kind of what we talked about, but obviously next Monday we'll give you the final to that and go from there.
Very good. That's it. Awesome, thank you.
Any idea, as far as schedule goes? I know we haven't selected anyone, and that's the precursor to schedule, but what are the RFQs saying, or the RFP responses saying? in
General
terms of
consensus
schedule?
was that they were ready. Not
We're
at
not
the,
talking money yet, we haven't done any of that.
just a
No,
time
schedule.
frame.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
schedule.
They're ready to handle the project, take it on.
Okay.
So there wasn't any, well, it's gonna be 2 years till we get to it kind of deal.
Yeah, that was my.
That'll be part of the, I think that'd be part of the interview question too.
Exactly, yeah, we'll
What were the responses? and
definitely get it nailed down
Yeah.
a little bit better during the interview process, but
A
nothing.
lot of it, those packets were just introducing the project managers and a few references, and there were 7. We felt, as a group, there were 3 that, for various reasons, between calling references and reading, that was a definitely no, and that led us to 4. And at least myself and Jason, and Naomi anyway, I always liked working with Tom Marshall, and he has extensive knowledge in that bridge, doesn't mean we gotta go with him. But one company he works for, one company he used to work for, so all that's on file. Then there was another one we all decided on because they got good references.
Good, very good. Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, before we let it slip, we're going to do a hire for Jason. I'm gonna move that we hire James Higgins at the rate of $21.85 an hour to start March 12th, 2024, for a position of truck driver at the DPW. Is there a second?
Second.
Move second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Yes. So can I ask, Jason can go, but there's one other thing that we did not complete, and while you're in the hire mode, can we talk about it?
Sure.
So, on the 27th, you interviewed, or we talked about reclassifying, thank you, reclassifying, Austin McGuire.
Yes.
And we searched the minutes. I know you were all privy of a non-public, and then when we came out of the non-public, we basically said we interviewed because he was there that night on the 27th, that we interviewed a potential police department candidate, that's all it says. Then we fast forward to January 8th, when Chief Moore came in.
Yep.
And Chief Moore, honestly, we didn't make a motion, he just mentioned it as a reclassification. So, he now, so Beth doesn't have any idea about annual accrual, and so he'd like to know, he knows the sick time, but the annual accrual we talked about was not on, so it was nothing on his check. So, my thought and Beth's thought was the best thing we could do is maybe restate it for the minutes so that Beth has it, he has it, and everybody has it.
And what was the details?
So what we were gonna do, it says he would, I can read this. It says if approved at the time of the effective date, he would be, have completed 10 years of continuous law enforcement service, because he had a higher date of 12/30/23. And I recommend he accrued 200-hour annual vacation in accordance with the CBA. That's really what he's after, because we talked about, the 100 hours already, and you guys did that motion.
So moved.
Okay.
Second.
Moved and seconded. I'll wait for her to jot her notes.
What's that?
I said I'm waiting for you to jot the notes, if you wanted any.
I'm still back at James Higgins, so,
Okay.
sorry.
All right, motion on the floor, moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'll
Slipped
slip
it.
through. Okay.
Well, I know it was here, but it was in a non-public, so I really wasn't to disclose it. It wasn't, I could have disclosed it, but I thought the best thing you could do, because that's how they look for it in the minutes.
No, and usually what we have been trying to do is if we did anything in the non-public, we would do it again in public.
public,
So
right.
we must have missed doing that.
Well, I think
saw that
the
one.
idea was it was a classification, a
Right.
reclassification, it wasn't a
reclassification.
hire. And it
Right.
was mentioned when Chief Moore was up here, he mentioned that, and it was just a mention, I was looking for a highlight. And it was just mentioned in that he was going to reclassify from part-time to full-time and that he hadn't left us.
Yeah. Okay.
We didn't do the details, and he's looking for details, so I think we've covered that now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Before
catching
you,
us up.
before you get too far away from this White's contract, there is 2 lines that need to be signed. One's from Jason, and the other one is from the Town of Ware Authorized Agent, which the previous signature was Mr. Fulton, so,
Okay, so you need Jason.
and Andy's.
Well, they're meeting Wednesday night, I'll catch Jason too.
So, all right, move on to the manifest. Order the treasurer to sign payroll accounts payable checks dated March 14th, 2024, is including the following manifest. Payroll manifest, $72,549.36 for weekly payroll. Accounts payable manifest, $50,524.32. And a supplemental accounts payable manifest of $841.86 for a total of $123,915.54. Is there a second?
Second.
Move second. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Brings us to the minutes.
Now, I did post them just this afternoon, but I did post your non-public ones last week that we'll have to just add the blanks to.
Okay. So 226.
26 I put up today, and if you want it tabled because I was late doing them, that's fine. I put up 3, 4 today as well. 226, the largest, as you're gonna see, is, I think, is a page or 2
Motions.
pages of your motions.
Yeah, to keep or unseal.
But if you're not prepared, I totally understand.
I can-
I think that's the most
I can
motions I've
do all-
ever made. In one meeting. That's the most motions I've ever made in one meeting.
Well, it was nice, though, I will tell you, it was nice to have the same first
Yeah.
and second.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got smart on that.
yeah, we did.
I'm ready to discuss all 3 of them.
Yeah,
Okay.
me too.
All
That's
right,
fine.
cool.
I'm good with it then. Page
Thank
1?
you.
Line
Oh,
11.
I'm sorry, let's go lines.
yeah.
Yeah, let's go lines.
Are you doing, which one are you doing first?
26. Line 11, I was present.
Oh. You were late, right?
Nope,
Oh, I thought you were late to that one.
nope. I was late to the 5th and I was gone on the 12th.
Oh, okay.
All right, so. we'll
There
put
we
you
go.
up there,
So you were
yeah.
here. Yeah, how could you have made all those seconds all the way down the line? Yeah.
And, line 40, my name's spelled wrong,
40 which?
40.
Oh, yeah,
40.
you need a W.
Yep. And hop in if you have anything before line 74.
47 Schmid is spelled wrong.
Oh, hang on.
There's no C.
Yes.
I know, 'cause I've made that mistake.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Got 92 otherwise.
We're down to 74.
Police Chief Moore received information from ATF,
What line?
74. Insert received.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Next one I have is 103.
92 demo switched, it shouldn't be capitalized because it's not later.
Okay.
I had a question on 103. Director Fisk said there is not a lot of law yet.
There's not a law.
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
There's not a law.
Because he was, there's
Yeah.
not a lot of law on like handling batteries,
Okay.
battery
I just
disposal.
maybe thought I was missing something.
Okay.
Thank you. So no correction on 103.
Okay. Next line.
I have is 158.
I've got a couple. So lithium, on 104, lithium batteries, there should be a comma after that.
What's a button cell battery, can I ask?
What's those
Oh, those
round
are the
ones?
Batteries.
Those are long.
Watch battery.
Sorry.
109, I think, it says NRA, I think it should be NRRA.
Yes.
And then I'm on 157, 158. What I wrote, let's see, so as written, it says, Selectman Bloom said that DPW Director Fisk said they can't spare their in-house trainer right now, but what is their several what-if would cost? So I just rewrote that sentence as, Selectman Bloom said that DPW Director Fisk said they can't spare their in-house trainer right now, but asked if it would make sense again once we have more employees. And,
Yeah.
and I went back, I watched the video, and I did meander through that sentence quite aggressively. So,
Okay.
I just said change is to if, and it probably did the whole thing.
But asked if it would make sense again, what'd you say, when?
once we have more employees. And I thought that same is if, but then it's what if, there's several, what it would cost.
Right.
What if there were several? What would
Well, then,
it cost?
what if there were several?
Yeah.
But then several what?
Yeah,
Because there's like several trainers?
yeah, okay.
Are we leaving the what if we? I put the sentence in, asked if it would make sense again, once we have more employees. Are you leaving the next sentence? What is it?
I had just replaced that sentence that I read
Mhm.
with the sentence that I read, I guess.
Okay, so we take that other out.
It should be a one-for-one swap though.
Yep.
Okay.
Then I'm on 172.
That was,
More is spelled wrong.
all right.
Yeah.
And then 195 says 32.4, 32.5, but there should be colons.
Colons.
Because they're RSAs. And then 220. Parker is spelled wrong.
Right at the front.
289. Pratt's shouldn't have an apostrophe. And then I've got 363. And this is something we talked about.
265,
Okay.
Okay,
I believe Messenger and Construction Summary are capitalized, they're publications.
Correct.
And 287, this had to do with the Concord Stage logging. The line 287 says, they're all done cutting because it was too wet. So I just wanted to verify, is that the correct thing?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
done because
there's,
it's
there's
too
too
wet
much
to cut
water up
anymore?
there, they can't,
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
too
they
wet to access.
burying the skidder, they can't be in there at all.
So no change on 287.
now we're down to 3 something.
363, just, we listed all minutes kept sealed were regarding exit interviews, personnel matters, and tax deed evictions, and just to add to that, on the end of that list, and pending litigation. There was one more category there.
We did say that, though?
Yeah.
Okay. I know we said it,
And we talked
Other
at
meetings
a
later,
later
but-
meeting about going back and when we
Okay.
edit these minutes
okay.
to put that back in there.
Anybody else? Okay, move to approve the February 26th meeting minutes as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Move second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Abstentions? No? Okay. Three, where are we going, 3-1 or 3-4? 3-1. I'm a little off base here. Stand by.
3-1 on line 19, I left myself out as the seconded person.
Hey, you were here.
Yeah.
I remember you were here.
Yeah, well, I was the one who seconded the entering of the non-public, and I didn't even write myself down.
In line 18, we went into non-public session at 6:31,
Oh.
so. Anything else on that one, other than those two?
No.
I think so.
Okay, move to approve March 1st as written, as amended.
That was the,
Second.
that was the,
That was the,
That was a Friday
that was the, yeah, so.
Yeah,
All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Abstentions?
abstain.
All right, I gotta go back. I lost that one. 3-4, right?
Yep. I only have two things on that one. Line 15,
Yes.
Hebert should be Herbert. That was the guy from,
Southern Hampshire.
yep.
Do you want me to put his regional mobility, whatever?
Yeah, just his title.
Yeah, somebody else had the
Right,
title on
right,
it, yeah.
So we know who he was.
And then on, the only other one I had was 47, 48, hand and hand, should be hand in hand.
Oh, hand in hand.
Anybody else have anything?
I'd like to clarify at the end of line 98 that we agreed for a one-year appointment to allow Park time to get their bylaws and membership in order. And we did not know of the exact vacancies existing because they don't have those documentation. Because they do not have that documentation.
So we're looking to add 2 or 3 sentences there?
Yeah. Agreed to have 2 candidates come to the March 11th meeting is the way it currently reads. And I would like to add, appointments will be 1 year to allow Park time to develop bylaws and membership timelines.
Makes sense. That's what we talked about.
That we talked about.
And on page, line 183, part-time should be
Hold-
hyphenated.
Hold on.
Meeting appointments for 1 year to allow park time for bylaws and timelines? Is that what you said?
Membership timelines.
Okay, next one.
170. I don't know if we need to clarify that T.A. Bolton returned for her review. 'Cause it says she stepped out.
It's probably worth
She
it.
actually came back for
Yeah.
her review. Okay. And then 183, part-time, should be hyphenated. That's all I have.
What number was that?
183,
Halfway across.
Hyphenated?
yeah, full-time, part-time, hyphenated.
Okay, anything else? Move to approve the March 4th meeting minutes as amended. Is there a second?
Second.
Move second, all those in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Administrator's report?
Provided you with one. River Road Bridge you just heard. Then when we talked about, I don't have anything more to offer you until,
Can I jump in on 3?
sure.
So that
Parks and
is
Rec.
Parks and Rec. So we had our meeting last week, talked about the minute taker. Has anybody responded to that at all? Okay, so then,
I did get questioned at a basketball game, but I have never heard from anybody.
so that made me wonder, with Board of Fireworks going away and we have condensed how much we require of our minutes, can we go back and ask Kirsten?
Per
'cause the-
re-ask?
Yeah,
With one board missing or.
Right, no,
leaving.
because you're right, the dissolving of the park,
Fireworks.
Board of Fireworks, yes.
And it is an additional $60 a month that there's a line item, $720 for transcriber. And then the job rec or whatever that Park put out was $60 a month. So,
Makes sense.
yeah, if everybody would be okay with that, I think we should go
I'm
back
fine
and
with
ask
at
her.
least asking
I
the
can
question.
reach out to her again, because before, everything was new, and then, you're
Yeah.
right, but with the dissolving of one, I think
Yeah.
it's a fair question.
Yeah, and I
sure.
think,
I don't mind.
hopefully it's easier to write them now that they're
Yeah.
abbreviated,
A little
more,
bit-
yeah.
Yeah, a little more abbreviated.
Right,
rather
so
than-
I can ask her, sure,
At least present to her.
that's a great thought.
I had one other thing that came out of the park meeting. It was brought up that I appreciate that he did it. It was one of the guys from one of the sports. I apologize, I can't remember face or names. And he was like, hey, you've got all these dumpsters. Are they too big? They're sitting there during the winter. Are you paying for them? And it turns out, no, we're not paying for them. It was all a good agreement, but it came out of that, there's nowhere to throw trash at the tennis courts. And then we didn't really, so these are now my thoughts. This is not what we talked about at Park, but we talked about we did talk about how there's a dumpster at the library. And okay, that's the library. The library's paying for it. But at some point, is there, so that was my first question. Who pays for the library dumpster? I assume the library trustees. And then just a question for them, and then they, like, how do we even ask this question of them? And Park didn't say they would do this, but I'm asking the question, if Park were willing to help pay for the dumpster, could users of the tennis courts use the library dumpster? So, kind of all over the place on that one, but hopefully that's clear.
And you want me to ask that of the library?
Yeah, if you don't mind. And that was not an official Park request. That's
I
just
heard
me, like,
I heard you.
trying to figure that out. That's all I have.
Like I said, I don't have anything really more than on that first page. I'm still working with the public guardianship. I haven't had a chance to catch up with. They sent me an email and it was too lengthy to talk on the phone. To email. She'd rather talk on the phone. I haven't connected, so.
Sure.
There is correspondence that, one, we were asked to read at our next, it's my first bullet, and then the second one I sent you today. It goes later, under correspondence. I think the solid waste ordinance, I believe we talked about waiting, and we'll have a new board, and we'll get our feet on the ground with that one. Still nothing for the sexton. I did attend the 3-6 meeting at the Mildred Hall for the request for the $2,500, and I'm gonna let Betty Straw come in next Monday and let you give you the decision. The right to know request I finalized. I think I included you with the first one. The second one, I don't know a quick solution to that. My thought was a thumb drive, and I got pushback on the thumb drive, so I don't know what else I can do. The other one, we've almost completed the entire checks and balances for the conservation part. We have told him we weren't done yet, but he's under commission anyway. And then the newest one, I've provided everything to everybody. I'm gonna just explain that we received it, and hopefully we can have some information if there's any out there for March 25th. Mitchell Municipal, I don't know if it was in your bills or not. That's your breakdown of what it cost you. Pending litigation, I believe I forwarded that to you guys as well. We did get that signed off from Primex. Colby Road is ongoing. Ethics Committee's the next meeting is 21st. Thank you for Salem for the Parks and Rec. Benji, you won't have any because we haven't, planning board didn't meet in February, and Sherry, I think we pretty much covered the last one with Felch Farm. That
Can
was
you
the-
remind the planning board that, I believe it's in the law that they're supposed to meet a minimum of once a month?
Okay. Town council's working on the deed for the Dusso family, so we can finish that. That's already been done, I explained that to you. Solar committee, talk about renaming, as they said, we don't have to, we can do it on our level, but with the new change of boards, I think we'll just start that fresh again. HVAC, we'll look at doing that sometime this year, for the basement. And then fall service, last fall service is gonna happen this week. Between, but you see the hours there. I don't think, and I do have, to be honest, I have one other thing. So back a while ago, you had a gentleman come in on Concord Stage Road, and we signed an easement for public service, why do I call that, Eversource. Here's the original one you signed for that gentleman. He was gonna share the driveway that is being used. So Eversource returned it to him, we filled it out wrong, so he's filled out a new one. And Ricky, I believe it just needs your signature as far as you signed the last one. You gotta
Oh,
sign.
yeah.
So, it
Yeah.
was just, it got kicked back because it wasn't filled out properly. And I think, and then I just have this 2 letters, and that's all I have.
Just the one signature.
And to, yeah, remind everybody to vote tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, tomorrow is the day.
Tomorrow's it.
Come out and vote.
You guys got everything covered, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to run over the hours one more time so I can make sure that I was gonna take, do what I did before. I
What'd
do
you do
have
before?
well, I worked from like 8:30 to, I don't know, I think I was there, yeah, I said noon, I think I hung out till almost 2, but I got an appointment in town. Hopefully it's only more like 30 minutes at 9. I can work from then on for a while, or I can go and leave. That seems like a pain in the butt, but.
I'll be up at noon time or a little before and stay the rest of the day. So if you
All
can work
right. I
around
plan on
that.
coming in at 0700.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I had provided was 7 to 12. She was gonna come in, you were gonna leave for a little while, and then you were gonna do 8 or 8:30 till 12, and I think you two were gonna swap. But,
If I come and just air later, I'll stay later in the afternoon, whatever.
okay, it's just, I mean, that would be up to you guys, but that's what I provided her, was that. As long
good.
as, I don't know how busy it's gonna be.
This lucky one stays outside.
Huh? She's
I
gonna
said, this
stay.
lucky one stays outside.
In the wind.
Are you
Oh,
saying you're
shoot,
coming
yeah.
around noon?
It could
I
be
know,
like
I'll be
Salem last
Oh
year,
my
and
gosh,
standing in a
I'm so thankful
blizzard
it's
with
not.
kids.
Yeah, I got 2 blizzards on mine. I don't understand how you're getting this beautiful weather. Yeah.
So I guess
Considering I'm a weather wimp, I think that's
So-
pretty darn good.
you guys, I won't see her tomorrow because she's gonna be over there, just, he'll be along whenever, you guys can
Right.
make that work. And then, we do need 3 people at the end of the night, just to sign.
Yeah, I plan on coming back.
Okay.
So.
And if it's the morning and you need help,
Okay.
just text or call or whatever.
Okay, I can do that. Yeah, I'll type help.
I wasn't even gonna go into work, but
Yeah,
I get to see him out the
I
door.
took a day. Took a day.
So all I have,
was gonna take
all I
the day.
have left is those 2 letters, if you wanna address correspondence.
You said you want to say something?
Yeah, just, I'm not sure, but I think I may be at the end of a 3-year term on conservation. I'd like to re-up that. I don't know who has the form. Is that you, Naomi, or?
Yeah, it's online too.
It's online.
Yeah.
Fill it out and,
Are you coming Wednesday?
what's the one?
Conservation.
Wednesday night's
Yeah, yeah.
conservation, so I can bring one.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the other thing is, you got a bunch of Henniker, Francistown, Goffstown to walk the lines. I'd like to do that when you guys do it. I'd like to go along on that if it's possible.
And then before you guys part, your name tags are yours.
Well, thank you.
And
Appreciate
he's
that.
already turned in his keys and everything.
I got my key here.
Yeah, and then he dropped me off the binder, so.
I think I brought one.
What do you want, the policy binder?
No,
No, I-
no,
So
you're
that
here.
big, so the big policy binder I gave you, and then
Nice
he
try.
brought me the small one that we had done with,
Building,
the building ones.
it's a little white one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a little white
Yeah,
one.
okay.
I'll
I'll
Those are
bring
the
them
only
up.
two,
I'll bring
and
it up,
then-
but I've got my key
Yep.
here.
And then there should have been a key to the door. You should have had a key to the conference.
Oh, upstairs probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'll have to
Office door.
go up and try it, because I'm not sure which one it is.
It's stamped 297, I believe. Should be a Schlag,
What's that?
Schlag key, is that what it's called?
Is it that one right
Looks
there?
like the one right by your car key.
Car key.
Yeah, it looks like that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
If we're talking about it, I wrote down just a few, hopefully quick notes on transition stuff.
There's not much quick with you.
I know.
Go ahead.
Well, look, it started as like one paragraph.
Oh, good, yeah, all right, yeah, well, all right, so we're making headway here, yep.
It didn't end in one paragraph. No, this is, like, I was just thinking about when I started last year, and ways to improve, like, on-ramping new people. Like, it wasn't very clear what day it was official. And like, was somebody supposed to have let me know, hey, I'd won an election? Because I just showed up to the first meeting.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So I read a bunch of RSAs. It looks like, I think it was assumed that I knew at that point. The town clerk
Town clerk's
had sent
supposed
a certified letter.
to- Yep,
And then, so then it was, there's the election, but then it's not official until,
the next meeting, right?
recount window is closed, which is Friday.
Exactly.
Except,
If there's a
the
contested
exception to
race.
that is, if it's if it was an uncontested race and write-ins accounted for fewer than 5% of that seat, then that person could be sworn in immediately, at the end of the meeting or after the end of the meeting. Which, who knows, but is possible tomorrow. Which I think is gonna be an exception. Most of the time it'd be like a Friday thing.
Right.
And so then I started writing a little list, okay, yeah, make sure people are notified. Let people know they could be sworn in at the town clerk ahead of time, or they could get sworn in here during the meeting. Want to make sure that emails get set up for people, because that ended up being like a 2, 3, 4 week process last time, which ends up being a big chunk of the year. So that's both setting up emails for new people, and disabling emails for outgoing folks. And I guess ask the 2 outgoing members to, if you could just remove the email apps, whatever, from phones, computers, just,
Well, I'd like to keep it, because I have conservation stuff coming in.
yeah, okay.
I was gonna hold on mine for a short time until my Ware Fire Rescue one, I brought that up to speed. We're talking.
Yeah,
So
both
it's-
those make sense.
So
I'll
just,
use it
it's,
for-
everything's scheduled for AM the 13th
Oh.
to make the transition.
What day's
All right.
the 13th? Wednesday, okay.
Wednesday.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wednesday morning, because we just thought there was
That's fine.
There
That's
was
fine.
no
I'll-
contested.
I'll
Right.
still get the emails from the conservation. Okay.
Did you forward it to mine, my other one?
We're gonna set you up a new one.
Oh, okay.
We don't have the forward capability in
Okay.
ours, which is probably why we're having a thumb drive thing.
Okay, all right.
I wrote down policy binders, so you already did that.
Yep.
You've got
I
that,
didn't do it,
and
but
then
I
wrote,
will. I'll bring them up. Wednesday.
Because we'll be between elections and choosing new officers, I threw Benji under the bus and said he should be our point of contact if anything comes up.
Yeah, you should be as the vice chair still acting, so, yeah.
And the other thing, just, I think you got late to the game too last year, was, I just received notification and I was waiting to share it with them. NHMA puts on a first time, new time, I can't remember what it was called. It was for new people.
Public official or something.
Knowing the
Yeah.
territory, I think it's
It's got
called.
knowing the territory, it talks about right to know, it talks about, sealing and non-sealing. And it says it's for first time, but I don't think, did you ever get to the first one?
It's on YouTube, or at least one of them's on YouTube, so.
Yeah, and then, was that the finance one though? Cause I know we put you,
I don't remember.
I mean, I'll share it with all of you, and if
There
you
was
guys
a-
wanna go, I mean, I think last year they did have a Zoom option or an in-person
Yeah.
option.
Yeah, so,
But-
because I caught the one, because there are also elections in April,
Right,
whatever,
in
so
May,
they
and
do
that's
a-
why it was, some towns do March, some towns do May.
So I caught the later one, which was on Zoom, and then there was also a YouTube recording of either that one or one.
Cause I just got that and I kinda have it flagged to give everybody at that point.
I guess related to that, can we get NHMA like logins or anything? Sometimes I go
Yeah,
Google
Janice had
stuff.
asked me to, I know I have one, but I don't know how many, if they are doing it that way, but I'll find that out for you, cause it would be nice for you guys to get that too.
Sometimes Google's like, this is the perfect response, this is what I've been searching for all day, and you click on it, it's like restricted.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Do you think everyone would want a login or just a few?
I would.
They'll do 'em.
I would say everybody if you can.
Okay.
I don't want them.
I'll see what I can get, because I know I have one, but that allows me to put on the ads and put on the, you know, like if we want to advertise in classifieds, or when they do a survey, I have to upload information. So I know I have one, I just don't know, I'll verify that for you.
At Ryan's, we also talked at the park meeting about they would all like town emails.
Yep, that's scheduled for Wednesday.
Awesome.
There you go, see?
Well, I just thought I'd have him do everything at once, that's kind of what I was waiting for. I know I got another one, should I set up the next one too, while he's doing it on Wednesday?
Might as well.
Yeah, he's official.
Right, but I'm just thinking the one you're bringing in
Shelby.
Monday.
Oh, okay, so there is an implication. I mean, it's very
I-
highly likely.
I got it, I got it. I get the answer.
Are we still on other business, or?
I believe
No, we're
you're
still
on
under other business
correspondence, other business, yeah.
We did complete the performance reviews on 3-4. Have those been put in employees' personnel files? How does that happen?
I saw mine, I
Yeah, I was
haven't
gonna say,
seen
we
anybody
haven't given
else's.
them to her that I know of.
No.
I did
No.
not.
I did not either.
Okay,
They're in my binder.
okay. So how do they get into the files?
I can hand it over right now, and we can put them in there.
Well, that was,
Have 'em
went to
put 'em
my
in.
question was, when handing it to him, you should have signed it on either side.
Yeah,
Right.
that got
In
messed.
In order for it to be put in there, usually you sign and there's a chance, as I said to you guys, for a rebuttal.
Right.
Or if you had a concern about something.
I definitely think that's something we can do for next year as far as the form goes, but,
And I suppose that's an opportunity to catch
I
new
think-
board members up on like, hey, this is where we left off like 2
I
weeks
think to
ago.
go in the file though,
That's the
it
pack you
has
gave
to
me.
be signed by the employee and us.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
I would not let something in my file that was, I didn't sign.
right, so am I
What do you
taking
wanna do
those
with these?
unsigned or not signed?
I don't, how you guys wanna do it?
I think Benji should hold on to them.
All
Okay,
right, Benji, you got them.
lucky you.
Because I
All
think
those
that's why I raised the
We
question
can,
and
we can
signed.
sign them and then
We can
ask the
sign them,
employee to
right?
sign
Right,
them.
yeah, that's fair. That-
But you gotta make a page for it.
You almost have to make a
Mine didn't
signature
have any
page though.
spot for it.
Yeah, there's not really that much room.
Are you gonna make another page, or?
I think probably make
how would you
another
do it?
page.
The
I think that's
official
best.
looking, I guess. I mean, if it was a rush, we could sign this, but
It wasn't a rush to do it.
no.
I'm just saying.
No, I think that's fair. Reviews, sometimes they happen, sometimes they haven't in the past, but anytime they have, you gotta sign.
Sign, yeah.
Well, there's usually a spot, I mean, how I did mine is, we sat down and
I
did what
didn't
you
pick
guys
up on that
did.
till we did it.
Then I gave it to them, and they went downstairs, took it home, did whatever, shared it with their other half, it doesn't matter. And then there was a box for concerns, and then if they had any comments, and then if they had any questions, and then mine actually says, would you like to meet with the board? They have to answer yes or no, and then they sign it and I sign it, and that's where it was. But they understood too that it would go in the file at that point when they signed it.
Other than the meeting with the board, that sounds perfect, because, you know, you already met with the board. So. Beth sent out something a week or two ago asking for the current board to fill out an audit questionnaire. Is that complete?
I can ask her, I mean,
Yeah, I don't.
there was
remember seeing it.
questions that you guys are supposed to answer, there's questions I'm supposed to answer as far as, like, concerns. They ask if
Right.
you have any
didn't do it.
issues.
And
Do you
I-
think there's any concerns?
Yeah, I don't think yeah, not that I'm aware of.
concerns with her?
Oh, no, it's concerns with the
Finance.
overall
Financial.
operation and the finances.
Yeah, financial in general, yeah,
It's just an audit survey, right?
yeah.
So I can check with her.
Yeah, if you could.
It was the audit.
I haven't filled one.
I
I
haven't
mean,
filled
if
anything
none of
out
us
either.
did it, then it wasn't done.
Yeah,
I
I
would
didn't
assume
do it.
that on the select
Did you
board
do
side
it?
anyways.
No, I guess first I thought it was an individual thing, and then I thought it
Yeah.
was a,
No, I thought it was a chair thing, so I didn't do
Yeah,
anything.
Okay.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I
you
thought.
signed
I
the last one.
misinterpreted.
Yeah, you did the last one.
Yeah, that was what, 3 years ago?
No, we do
It's
it every
every
year.
year.
It's
We
every
do?
year we do it.
you've got 24 hours.
You got 24 hours.
She can bring it over to you
Tonight,
tomorrow.
You get it done.
24 hours. I got 24 hours right here.
And then Maureen had sent something, I believe she was looking for non-public minutes.
Nope,
that-
she was looking for the public minutes.
Public
That's one of the
minutes.
sets that I didn't do. I tried
Okay.
this weekend, I didn't finish them.
Okay, so you're aware of it?
I am.
It's not anything we need to say,
No, because what you did is you unsealed January 5th of 2023, and there's no
okay.
January 5th, 2023 minutes. That's one of the
Okay.
sets that I'm missing.
Oh, okay.
So I started it this weekend, but I didn't get a chance to finish.
I was just
So
concerned that
there's
there might
nothing
be
to attach
something.
it to,
Yeah,
was the comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, now I understand.
Okay.
I didn't really understand what it was all about now. I do.
Oh, that's why, I thought it was non-public. I'm like, how
No,
did,
she has the non-public because you unsealed it.
got it.
And she's got nothing to attach it to.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes, I would, just say thank you to you both.
Oh.
We did a little ceremony at the beginning, but
Yeah.
it's been
been
a
fun.
really fast year.
Been a wild ride.
I've learned a ton from both of you. I'd say, just to pick one anecdote, I'd say perambulating was unique,
That was a truck.
We had a different form of preambulating.
as was, stabbing grave sites over there.
Broken the
So
ground.
those are two things I haven't got to do.
So, both very unique, and otherwise, every meeting, something a little different. And
It was definitely a little different.
I think you've been an excellent chair, set a good
Thank you.
example for the rest of us, how to do this going forward, so,
Appreciate it.
thank you both.
I'll be around, don't worry. I'll be a thorn in the side from the other side of the podium, so.
No, thank you both.
We did have a couple letters we wanted to read in, but, I did a little bit of reflecting, and, I came up with quite a few things in my 9 years. 13 different board members I've sat with on this board. 3 different police chiefs, a couple of, library directors, a couple of fire chiefs, a couple of DPW directors, you, I mean, a DPW building, a road bond, again, a police department that was in trouble, that has now since become a very well-respected agency. And again, I'm kind of proud to hang my hat on some of those achievements that we've made as a town. I walk away from this board with my head held high. I think we all did I did my best that I could. It was hard sometimes it was easy, but again, for the majority of it, I'm glad I did my 9 years. And like I said, I won't be a stranger. I'll be a familiar face, so.
I think you also got the DPW garage completed and the
Yeah,
road bond done too,
Yeah,
right?
I said that, yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I missed that.
So, yeah, no, it's been a wild ride, that's for sure. So, even one of my birthdays, I spent waiting for a ceremony to finish over at the cemetery, because that was one of our gigs, so, and finished the burial myself, so. But, there were hard times, me again, there was a Christmas spent here because of the power outage.
Yeah.
Again, I could go on and on, but again, for the majority of it, it was really good, so. I'll read at least the one letter that we had, one email that we had, that was requested to be in the minutes. Was there a second one?
I just sent one.
Something about blasting and then Chief Roberts,
Oh, yeah, Chairman Roberts, yeah.
I'm
okay.
sorry, Chairman.
Yeah, you had
Hey, I've done
one
that
for
like 3
building
times.
inspection that I
Yeah.
didn't know about.
I got Kyle's here, and then I'll read Steve Roberts. It says, "Board members, I had time to reflect on this was dated February 27th. I had time to reflect on the dialogue of last night's Board Selectmen agenda item regarding the building inspector position. After careful thought, I am withdrawing my offer to fill in on a strictly temporary basis and offer the following explanation. The board voted conditionally to offer the position to me on a part-time basis and explained what that might entail. Attaining the ICC certification and proof thereof prior to employment was to be provided. I would like to point out the following, and while I would have no issue getting recertified and providing proof, the inspector prior to Goffstown's was not ICC certified, parentheses, working for several months this way. Tia Bolton also curiously had in her hand last night at last night's meeting and at a prior meeting, an application for someone who could start immediately, not ICC certified. One can conclude with the repeated resistance of 2 people that the conditional requirement is discriminatory in nature, not by majority. The appearance of it seems to be working this way has been misleading for a time now. I will not assume nor infer that this is the sentiment of all those in attendance and seated at the table last night. I will not waste the town's money on getting recertified when It seems that there is not an immediate priority anyways, and may be a reoccurrent cost with another candidate. I am requesting that this email be brought up under communication at the next scheduled public Board of Selectmen meeting and be entered into the recorded minutes, not just summarized. Regards, Kyle Parker, resident of Ware.
And it just slipped us, we had busy meeting that meeting.
Right. And then we had,
It was, Janice makes a good point, because I remember being included in a reply from a resident about noise and
Yes.
blasting.
yeah,
Okay.
so that one slipped through my email, and I apologize for that. There was this was back a while ago. They were blasting, I believe, on River Road. Did I move it out of the way already?
I have it here.
You have
It
it?
doesn't say where the blasting was, it just says blasting in the area.
At the time, it was River Road.
Okay.
I don't know.
Did it come board members?
I don't think so.
What was the date?
February.
February.
Yeah, it was a February,
Oh, you only got it first.
I was the only one that got it in February 7th. It was sharing the attached complaint with you. I have never filed a complaint before, so I'm not familiar with the process. Your assistance is greatly appreciated. Resident Bartcliff Road. And it was regarding, I don't know if I got enough served, but look at that. Ta-da. The complaint was the blasting in the area blasting in the area has been long been an issue impacting my residents from the perspective of level of noise, but more importantly, the vibration and reverberation impacting my house and property. At 2 p.m. today, the impact of the blast was a level warranting reaching out to file a complaint. The blast could be felt moving through my home like an earthquake. It shook my windows to the point that things blew off the windowsills. This is causing unnecessary repairs and damage to my residence and personal property. I don't typically get involved or complain, but the force of the blasting is out of hand. And that was dated February 7th. Again, it slipped through some of my emails. I thought I pushed the send tab. I did not. It stayed in my draft.
Can you forward it to me?
It was on board members. Okay. And this was February 20th. I responded to the resident and board members. So I thought I pushed the send tab the day you emailed me, but apparently I did not, so my deepest apologies. Forward this to the rest of the board for discussion at one of our next meetings. Not exactly sure what can be done, but sometimes 5 heads are better than one. I will have the town administrator, Bolton, follow up with you.
What you sent to us on the 20th did not have an attachment.
Yeah, I think when if you hit
Oh,
reply.
sorry.
And it drops it off.
And I asked
Okay.
you if it had an attachment, and you said no.
Because I thought okay.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. All right, coming your way.
Thank you. Yeah, because I was like, I don't know where the blasting is, what time of day, I have no information to act on it.
If
or
my
to
account hasn't been
research
shut
it.
off yet, it's on the way.
Not gonna be shut off until Wednesday.
What do we normally do with this kind of thing?
Discuss it, and there's really no, if they're within their realm to.
Is there a time of day which blasting should occur, should not
Is
occur,
they-
based on their
I don't believe
permits?
there's any ordinance other than what
No,
MSHA
based on their
sets up.
permits.
Oh, other than what MSHA sets up, I'm sure that there's,
Yeah, and I'm sure, like she said, I'm sure the
Wondering if
permits,
it's-
but what time, it was 2 o'clock, right?
I wonder if that stuff is the same stuff the guy was using down here near where Naomi lived there, the powder.
I don't know. Well,
Tanner, right,
yeah, but
yeah.
they're actually, if it, Bart Clough Road, that's up by the backside of Mount William.
Yeah,
So,
That's, yeah, but I looked up her address,
Yeah.
and I assumed
yeah.
maybe it was coming from Mount William.
right.
Sure, that's where it's coming from,
And
but
depending on what vein
Yeah.
he's hitting, it could reverberate, definitely.
really, it comes down to, there's actual damage, the blasting company themselves are,
Yeah.
got
We-
parameters, and I have no idea what them are, so I don't think it'd be for us to even guess with it.
Do we refer her back to them?
I don't know.
Maybe somebody could reach out to Chris and just ask if they were doing blasting at that time frame that he's
Sure they might have
talking
been.
about. I mean,
Place
I
to
don't know
start.
what you're gonna do. I
Good place
mean,
to start, yeah, and again, I don't know if there's any regulations or ordinances on that myself. I don't know.
he's gonna
Well,
blast.
they have to, when.
It's just
you know, there's
notification, isn't it?
Yeah, there's
The-
a
the
whole
three-
thing
the
that
three
has to
horns
be
and-
done, and then, yeah, and then the fire and the police are notified so that they block off the road and.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they pop it. But again, it could just be the vein of whatever they're on.
Travels through labs.
Travels, yeah, exactly.
I mean,
So-
it's, that seems like a reasonable time of day to conduct business.
Yeah. All right. Anything else I can think of?
Naomi, you said to take these, but what about me as setting on the conservation?
Yeah, but you're not a selectman.
No, I know.
I'll have to get another one.
Yeah,
I've
okay.
ordered for the other new members too.
Okay,
I'll just add one more.
yeah, all righty.
Okay. Anything else from anybody, other than?
Bob
vote?
Richards, Bob, yeah,
Oh, Steve.
Steve Roberts.
Stand by.
I have it right here if you want.
Oh, I have it right here. I got it right
I
here.
scanned it and sent it to you.
Okay, dated March 11th, Board of Selectmen from Chairman Steve Roberts, Board of Fire Wards. Dear Board of Selectmen, the Board of Fire Wards is aware of the Board of Selectmen will be the authority over the Fire Rescue Department on March 15th, 2024. You should know as Selectmen that the BOS already participates in the Fire Rescue Department's finances. The Selectmen were in control of vendors, paying bills, etc. until 2018. At that time, the Selectmen met with the Board of Fire Wards and worked out a path to manage expenses. It was the goal of the Board of Fire Wards to streamline those duties, and minimize costs by using the town finance director to process all payments and the BOS to continue authorizing payroll for employees as part of the town weekly payroll. The Selectmen already control the contract, capital purchases, and equipment inventory. Any questions you have regarding these issues should be addressed by the finance director. The Board of Fire Wards has worked to bring the department from failure to provide minimal response in 2010 to having a part-time chief and 2 fire EMS responders in the station 24 hours a day presently. If you look at the voting records, the voters have over and over supported this model for ensuring an adequate response to those in need. There has been a lot of time and effort to give the voters correct information by the Board of Fire Wards on these issues. Sadly, there have been a lot of false information put out by a few. Your duty is to manage the Ware Fire Rescue Department, giving the voters an adequate service for the money that they have voted for. I want to thank the Board of Fire Wards members for their service, as well as the members of the Ware Fire Rescue Department for dedication to help those in need. Sincerely, Steve Roberts, Chairman. So. Yeah.
That's all good.
Anything else? Okay,
So,
when we leave, my parents are in the process of cleaning out their house, and they found this gavel, and it was my grandfather's. He was a mason, and he was the lodge master. This is probably from the 50s, 60s. So with that, I would like to make a motion to close the meeting.
Second?
Moved and second, all those in favor?
Yes.
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 Good night.
Hang on a second.
Yeah, thank you.